This is the House of Parliament where men and women have sat for decades, making decisions that would affect all our lives. Do they really work in the interests of the people or themselves? They sit at the round tables, trying to decipher which way to turn. Is it left or is it right? Have the people benefited from those decisions? Our people have suffered for far too long. Change should not be a figment of the imagination, but reality. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman are equally important. The market vendor joyfully sells her produce. The fish vendor skillfully uses his cutlass to cut the fish. Keep on working. Let your smile be your motivation. Build a community of brotherly and sisterly love. Don't give up on your dreams. Surround yourself with positive thinkers. Think big and keep on moving. Keep pushing the envelope. Yes, push that envelope until you have succeeded. You may have made many mistakes, but that is no reason to stop. Don't you dare give up. Get ready for that overflow. Get ready for that breakthrough. The overflow is coming. Showers of blessings. Stay cool. Stay calm. Stay collective. Ride the rough waves of life. Hold on to that rope tightly. Just keep working. Keep moving. Keep believing. Self-motivation. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lies and Deceit. How are you today? How was your day? Some of you may have been at work. Some of you may have had the weekend off. Whatever you did, hope it was enjoyable. And tonight we have an exciting show for you tonight. Thank you for joining me, because my special guest tonight is going up for the chairmanship of the United Workers' Party. And I believe it was very important to bring him in, so that you can get to know who is Therold Prudent. And that is the aim of my show, allowing you to make your own decisions as to the way forward. And it is lovely to see you. Hi, Hyacinth. Good night. Claudia. Hi, darling. Felix. Hello. Cecilia, good night. And I would like to thank everybody for their support of the coffees. I saw Aisha bought me coffees. Thank you. And someone else bought me coffees. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Sabina. Thank you all for joining, because as I've always said to you, my show is not a Roro show. My show is there to enlighten you, to cause you to think, because our people in St. Lucia need to think. So we are Hi G. So we are going to have a good time tonight. And if there is one thing I want to say to everybody who support me, who come under the live, love me for me. I am not going to change to suit anybody's narrative. I am not going to change to make you feel happy, because the truth must be told. So if you supported me and I am not singing what you want me to sing, then I am not fake. I am a real person. I'll continue being me. But for all those who have continued to support me, I love you all, because you love me for me. Love me for me. Do not love me to sing your narrative, because I ain't going to sing it. Now, tonight, there is a lady who supports me, and she's big on the coffee. Now, the link is there. Now, I am doing this show on Saturdays because the Adventists used to complain saying they can't watch it on Friday. But here's the thing, y'all don't go buy coffee. The people who buy the coffees are not the Adventists, because I know them, right? They always support. So if you really want me to come on a Saturday, because Saturday is actually my weekend off. I work Monday to Friday. Saturday is my weekend off, so this is a labor love. So you cannot have me come in and sit here and not buying coffees, not supporting me. Then it's going to tell me that I'm not going to come on a Saturday again. All right, so everybody go ahead and support. Now, today, one of my supporters, who is very a big supporter, it is her twin sister's birthday. And we would like to wish them happy, happy, happy birthday. So we are going to wish the twins, and I heard the twins are always watching so. Now, I did not even know those twins were one of my big supporters' sister. So let us, not him. Yeah, not him yet. I want the twins. Let us wish Marilyn Stephen a happy birthday. And it is coming from your sister, Essie. Beautiful Essie is wishing her twin sister, Marilyn Stephen, a happy birthday. Marilyn, I'm hoping you are going to, or you have been enjoying it. And I know your sister, you are going to be very surprised what your sister did for you. So happy birthday. That's one of the twin sisters, Marilyn Stephen. Now let's go to the other twin sister. Okay, let us wish happy birthday to Merle Stephen. Merle Stephen is the other sister. Do we have Merle here? We have the gentleman, not Merle. Yeah, we need Merle, we need Merle up here. We need Merle. We have her? Okay, so we want to wish Merle Stephen a happy birthday. And it is coming from Merle Charles, sorry. Happy birthday. It's coming from your sister Essie. Wishing you all the best. I heard you, Merle, and your sister always watches my show. So happy birthday to those beautiful people. Is the link for the coffee there? Okay, can you put it for them? Because they're asking for it. Desma, I'm going to put the link in a while so you can go ahead and buy your coffee. Sorry about that. And happy birthday to Merle coming from Essie, and I'm wishing you God's richest blessings. Happy birthday, beautiful ladies. Now, we are going to wish another gentleman who has been a UWP stalwart from 1960, what he told me, 1961 or wherever. So let us wish the gentleman now, Earl Lewis, let us wish him a happy birthday. Mr. Lewis is 80-something young. Do we have him? Mr. Lewis is 80-something young, and we want to wish Mr. Lewis a happy birthday. And it's coming from us, all of us from Lies and Deceit, also to the twins. All the birthday wishes is coming from myself and the Lies and Deceit family, wishing you God's guidance. So Marilyn, Merle, and Earl. Earl's birthday is actually tomorrow, so it's advanced birthday greetings to him. It's actually tomorrow. So we are wishing all my supporters a happy birthday. So those who were asking for the Buy Me a Coffee link, it is there. It's pinned to the top of the page. Go support the show. Okay, go support the show. As I said to you all many times, I have no supporters, so the Buy Me a Coffee is only $3 US. Is there for you to go and support me. Do not come and not support because of people telling you all not to support. What I'm doing is good stuff, so go support. Now, my people, you are welcome. You are welcome. Thanks, Arnold, for the coffees. Thanks, Arnold, for the coffees. At least, you know, Arnold keeps supporting so and not being swayed by the naysayers, because this is a real show. I am not here to sing your narrative. I'm here to speak the truth. Now, imagine the guys came from Dubai. And they on a camel, people. They on a camel. The guys came from Dubai and they are on a camel. Look at this.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sheikh Allah Ahaha. I'm about to go buy my camel to return to St. Lucia. Camel, my friend. Kidel, mi choumel la, kidel. Santi manye santi, nou kay pon lot. Oh, I'll take this one. So I'm gonna buy this camel to return home. The choumel.
So hi Marilis. No, you're not late. Thanks for the coffees. Thanks for the coffees. Right? And all the Adventist people who wants me to come on, I need you to go buy coffees too, because the people that buy not Adventist, only Aisha did so far, and my other girl, but I will not tell you who. Now, look at this. This guy said, let us play this video again. This guy said the camel is smelling.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I really want to know.
This is Sheikh Allah Ahaha. I'm about to go buy my camel to return to St. Lucia. Camel, my friend. Kidel, mi choumel la, kidel. Santi manye santi, nou kay pon lot. Oh, I'll take this one. So I'm gonna buy this camel to return home. The choumel.
So he's bringing a choumel. Now, you know, thanks Desma. Thanks for the coffee from your mom, Ursula Smith. Thank you, Miss Smith. Thank you so much. Now let me just show you. As Ursula said that, I am so happy. I am so happy the younger generation is listening to Soso. They are listening to Auntie Soso. It was Elsie Dante's daughter's birthday when I last did my show on Wednesday. Do you know what the young child said to her mom? It is my birthday, but I need you to buy coffees for Soso. So she asked her mom to buy me 5 coffees. And I'm very happy that the young ones are listening to Soso. Because when I come here, my show is for everyone. I speak in simple terms for everyone to listen and understand. Now we had Larry, Curly, Mo, Bahau, and Shile posing, fingers locked together. I need somebody to explain to me this picture. I am lost. Can somebody explain to me this picture? Because they were holding hands like it is bind us together, Lord. Yeah, God, that binding y'all together. You know what binding y'all, but it ain't God binding y'all together, because our country is in a mess. Our country is in a mess. Thank you, Kerwin, for the coffees. Greatly appreciated. Where are the Adventists that makes me come on a Saturday? I ain't gonna come on a Saturday again. That's my weekend off. Tomorrow I'm gonna be watching Netflix and chill, you know, after I give my praises to God, and I'm gonna watch Medea Goes Home, whatever the name of the show is, and relax, take a break. So I want somebody to explain to me, Larry, Curly, Mo, and now we have Bahau and Shile. They're holding hand. But I don't want nobody, whether it's woman, man, don't hold my hand like that. What is this? What kind of Illuminati sign is that, holding each other like that? Saxa, what is this? What did they bring from Dubai for Shimel, Kimel, Camel? Huh? Look at this picture. Let me tell you, a picture tells 1,000 words. When people, I cannot see most of you, so when you tell me you love me, I just have to believe it. But when people speak to me, I watch your body language. I watch your body language. And I am trying, someone bought me coffees, thank you so much. I am trying to figure out what body language that is. This some kind of lodge Freemasonry thing, holding each other like this? People, help Soso out. Somebody tell me, what is this? Hi Sarah, sweet tooth, how are you Dudu? I'm here to deliver my copy with hot bakes. Thanks Sarah. What is that? Is that some kind of Illuminati code? Freemason code holding like this? I have never seen in the time of Kennedy Anthony, Sir John Compton, and Alan Chasney, I have never seen them taking out a picture like this and hold. People tell me what kind. Is that the Camel Hug? Oh, where are my funny jokes? Is that the Camel Hug? I need somebody to tell me if that is the Camel Hug. Because all of them looking like some shemales there. Okay, somebody tell me to go in order. I'll go in order from left to right. From the one with the glasses in the brown suit. Okay, so I am going in. Yes, Ferrier, I am right. Let me tell you, all this, our country is an evil country now, plagued with evil. You ever see people hugging like that? So, the one with the glasses in brown, that's Larry. Then we have Bahau. Then we have Chile. Then we have Curly, and then we have Mo. Check Mo. Mo always chest, always up. What? Is this what we have become in our country? What is this?
I never know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. I mean, this
fellas hold it. I don't even want man to hold me like that in no picture. No, no, no. If your hand not on around my shoulder hair or around my waist, nobody holding me that. I ain't no lodge. What kind of thing is that? Is that the Shemale Camel Hug? Is that what they brought to St. Lucia? I want somebody to explain to me what is that? What is that, people? Right? Look at them, Larry, Curly, and Mo. Bahau, Chile. Look at them. What can this man bring back to St. Lucia? Where are the stars? You mean to tell me Richard Frederick Attaché, Kisa u Cafe Dubai? You just rich. You just come. And the stars like Darren Sammy, Tedderson John, Love and Spencer, Claudia the artist Edward, they're not there and you there. What you doing there? Our country has gone mad. Our country has gone mad. Please explain this picture to me. A.T. Francis, you are very right. She said, so we need to talk, please. St. Lucia needs prayer. Yes, darling, we need serious prayers. There is a heavy spirit. There is a heavy cloud in this country. Because from what I am hearing, apart from people not going out to vote, there was a lot of evil spirits in our country. During the election, they sold to the devil. Exactly. You're holding Gassa. If any of these fellas were my man, I leave them, I divorce them, I don't want that. What? Any man that's with so and going to marry her, if you hold anybody like that, the only person you can hold like that is your mother and your daughter. No man, no. What is this? Somebody say Curly, Larry, and Ho.
I never know where it came from. I don't know where it came from.
You are wicked. You are very wicked. Right? What is that? Real men don't do these things. What kind of sorcery is that? Saksa. Elta, do not laugh, please. Elta, do not laugh at me. Ferlin, thanks to the coffees, darling. Do not laugh at me. What kind of thing is that? Kasa, if any of these fellas were my man or my husband, whatever, you gone. You gone. Really? Bind us together? The only place I hold in hands, not even like that, in church, we stretch across the aisle and all of us hold each other's hand. Now it's COVID, you're holding nobody's hands. So I need somebody. What is it? What kind of vice is going on there? What is that? What is that? Kikalte viskikalela. My producer is dying. My producer is laughing.
I never know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. I mean,
we want our country and our lives to return to normal.
A.T. Francis say we need a national day of prayer. Now, A.T. Francis, you are very, very correct in saying that. Because from the time Chasney left, it's like they have no regard for prayer, no regard for nothing. Right? Tonight, it's like people just don't care about our country anymore. They just don't care. Somebody say it's the something, I will not say what the person say, but, you know, Did they learn that? Langso Zone is asking, did they learn? People, I want you to really watch this picture because a picture tells 1,000 words. Guys, not even we sisters, we girls, nobody holding me so. Nobody holding me so. What kind of malpop taste?
God have mercy upon us.
Lauren Luben said we need a week of fasting. We need. Gassa, let me tell you, you're not even seeing nice women between those men. A whole set of men holding. Gassa, I am afraid man shortage all over the place. In man holding man. People are just miserable tonight. I am on top of my game tonight. Trust me. I'm cooking on 100 tonight. Oh my, now my people. I have laughed enough. Let me bring in my guest. My guest is someone all of you know. He has been in the limelight for years, and he is vying for the chairmanship of Miss Clara. I love you. I love you. Miss Clara bought me coffee, and she made somebody do that. And she said, "Do not say the Adventists not buying coffee. They can't get through." Mario Fanis, you need to teach your people how to buy coffee because you just buy coffee. And I must mention Mario. And, you know, sometimes Mario buying coffee for everybody. You're buying coffee for everybody at the live. I love you so much, Mario. Now, Miriam too. Miriam, my girl. I love you like crazy. These people, and I love all of you. But, you know, I have to single out Mario and Miriam. These two. You know, I just stress out Mario, Marina Wernis also, and Miriam is just so calm and nice and everything. But I love you people. Now, let's go back to my guests. Let me bring in my guests for you now. No other than Mr. TP, Therold Prudent. Hi. Introduce yourself to my guest. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Hi, So. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. And it's a real joy. And I've watched your show. I support my wife and I support your show.
Oh, yes, y'all do.
And we do that. And we love the contents of your material. And this evening, it is such a pleasure. And good evening to all of your listeners and viewers here this evening. Yes.
Thank you so much, because, you know, you have become a household name, TP. And the Flubos, they really love you. And I make sure, you know, on Friday, I always try to sleep. On Saturday, I try to sleep in, but I put my alarm on for 9:30. So when I get up, I can listen to you. And I always listen to you. But I also pay careful attention that you have so much love and support. I find that apart from the younger ones, middle age, I find that the senior citizen, they love you, they pray for you. Tell us about you. Just tell us, before we go in depth with anything, tell us about you. Give us a little background about your boy growing up, you know, what you liked, what you disliked. Just give us, you know, a little something about you.
Well, I was born in Grosley, and I was born on Mary Terrace Street. And it is one of the most popular streets here in Grosley. As a boy, I was always the kind of guy who loved to experiment with things. And so I used to like politics from a very young age. And I used to have those matchsticks, you know, those matchsticks that you have. Whenever my mom had used them, I would pick them up and I would form them into political parties. So we had always had two political parties. And I would stay in my room all alone, and I would basically decide what party is going to win this particular election. It's not about UWP or SLP. I used to call them different names and so forth. And we used to create homes, we build streets. You know, we do different little things I would do as if this is their accomplishments, this is their achievements. And then later, in about a few days' time, we would have another election again and see which of the parties would perform much better under what I had in mind. And so my mom knew about it, my brother knew about it, nobody messed with my matches. And they just left it exactly where it was. And I would basically just write over them. As a young boy growing up in Grosley, I was always infused by sports. So sports was a big thing for me. And as a young person, I became part of the Wambland Fuedi club, meaning men and women who the community had forgotten. They, to me, was of interest to me. And so those with arthritis, they were on the Fuedi team, and those with, and we're talking about real people here, and those with who drank white rum or whatever, they were on the Wambler team. And so I became the president as early as 14 years old. I became the president. Most of these men and could be my grandfather or my father. And we used to appear on the Grosley playfield where the whole community would come together, because I felt that, you know, you couldn't discard those people. Give them some value in life and treat them with respect. And I did that, and everybody came out on Sundays to see them. Earlier in my life, I also became president of one of Grosley's biggest youth organization, which is called United Youth Organization, UNIO. It was the largest by far, and it was made up of mostly disadvantaged kids in Grosley that did not play for some of the elite teams and people had not given any attention to. And I brought them together to form the UNIO. I was also I was a musician in my early days. I still am, sorry. And I played with the Universal Stars, and we composed our own songs. And part of it, I was the lead singer and the rhythm guitarist in that group.
Wow.
We also played, we had become so good that we had played together with Faswa, who had just finished playing on Bob Marley's Catch a Fire album. And we played also with Malcolm Lux McGarren, who had hits in Germany and so forth. And they felt that we were that good to be able to play with them. In life, I've always taken an active role in community affairs in Grosley. And so anytime a concert would be there, Therold Prudent was always at the helm. If there were sports on the field, Therold Prudent would be there. If there was a swimming race, then Therold Prudent would be there. And I just made my life, I love people, I enjoy people, I'm not a sometime-ish person. You will find me to be someone who is real. If I say I like you for a lifetime. You have to give me a reason to not like you for an entire lifetime. And that's why I've made so many great friends over the years, and I've remained good friends with them. Yes.
Thank you so much, because, you know, I'm sure that my listeners, my viewers, and myself, we have now gotten a clearer picture of who you are. And now I have the understanding why you have chosen to run for the chairmanship of the United Workers' Party. Because
yes,
if one does not feel for the people, like for instance, I realize that you love the elderly based on what you said,
yes,
right?
Yes, I do.
The club you all
them.
formed, right?
Yes.
And looking at
This
them.
was right. Yes, that's right.
And I always respect a man. I always respect a man who loves his mom. And I will tell you why I am saying that. This morning I listened to you and you were so concerned about your mom. How is she doing?
Yes. Well, the doctor came into the house this afternoon and she made an assessment. And so she's concerned about her left pelvic bone. And so she wants me to, on Monday, to take her for an x-ray so we can figure out if there's a fracture or something like that, because it's a little bit jutting out after the fall.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
and,
she had a fall.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, she had a fall. So she's in pain, and she's elderly right now, and she had suffered a stroke years before. And so, but despite the stroke, her mind is still on. She speaks very fluently. She understands everything that is happening and she knows this evening I'm going to be with you.
She knows. Give her my
Yes,
love.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, that's right.
Give her my love, because I heard you. I heard you were really speaking about her and the concern.
Yes.
And you said you want to go back home really quickly to check on your mom. Now, with
Yes.
you saying that, you have won my heart and other people's heart, because it tells me that you would really care, love, and think about the people who are in need, not only UWP, but the entire country. Because when you are a chairman, it's not about SLP or UWP. Yes, you're supporting this party, but you have to go out in the community and work and help the people. Now tell me, how has the journey been? Because I know you have been going to various districts, well, constituencies, speaking to people. Just walk us through as to how the journey has been.
The journey has been an exciting journey. It's been a journey that has been beyond my wildest dreams. When I first embarked upon this, I always said that I am Therold Prudent. I wasn't born with a golden spoon in my mouth, and anything I do in life, I must earn it. I don't want anybody to give anything to me. I have to earn it. And so I don't ever want to go on a convention floor, never selling my vision to anyone, never telling them who I am and what I hope to accomplish as chairman of the United Workers' Party. I basically wanted to go out there to meet not just the delegates and the chairpersons, but to meet the common man on the streets, you understand, who supports the United Workers' Party, including those who even do not support the United Workers' Party. I meet them all of the time. And I embrace them. They embrace me. When I get there, I realize by the second trip, people were preparing meals for me when I came down to the communities, and I feel loved by those people, and I think deep inside they know that I truly care about them, and I care about what they feel, how they feel. Your party just lost 15-2 us about 7 months ago. How are you taking that? And I'm realizing that so many people are hurt. They are still hurt. There are those that are just sitting on the fence politically, and I go out there to console them and to encourage them and to say to them, if I am successful in my bid, there will be a place at the table for each and every one of them.
Now, what is the most difficult question that has been asked to you while you go through the various constituencies speaking to the people? As you said, some of them are hurt, some of them are on the fence. So what is your strategy in energizing them?
What I do is to offer them hope. My aim is to always offer them hope, to say to them, yes, we've lost, but this is not it. That we have an opportunity, a fine opportunity to restructure the United Workers' Party. We have a very fine opportunity to be able to make the United Workers' Party more inclusive. We have a fine opportunity to have a party that cares about its people and not just forget them after an election or only worry about them when election is going to be here. I say to them that if given an opportunity, I will not be the kind of chairman that sits myself or sit here in Groseley and do not go out. They will not have to look for me. I will come to the community whenever they need me or whenever I think I should go. And so I will always be there to be able to help them organize, because you have to have functional branches. You can't have branches where people don't even know what their roles are. For example, if they're PRO, if they're this, if they're that, they're not even sure of what it is. My aim is to be able to train those people, organize them, and let them better understand their role, give them a definition of what their role is, and to be able to ensure that the United Workers' Party is battle ready in the next 5 years.
Yeah, and your approach is very good. However, our people, again, I speak generally, our people really need to open up their thinking and say to themselves, what is it that I want the government to do for our country? And
Yes.
if people start to think in that direction, I believe
Yes.
our country would move forward. And people should not be saying, oh, what the government can do for me. But government
Yes.
must create an environment for our people to thrive.
Yes.
Because if there is no environment for our people to thrive, how are they going to thrive? Now, another
Yes.
question I need to ask you, you said that certain people do not know their roles in the various constituency office.
Yes.
But it begs the question about the organization that you seek to represent. Do they have a structure in place that every council knows their role and what they have to do?
I think they understand their role. When I say that we need to clarify their role, I was talking about getting them more engaged than some of them have been engaged, and to the extent of being real activists as opposed to just holding a position on the branches. I mean, I admire the work they've done, but I am saying that, you know, we can move further than that in terms of being activists, in terms of making things happen for the United Workers' Party long before an election in their own community. But I wasn't saying that. I don't mean that they don't know their role. It's basically, I am saying that we can broaden on that. Yes, we can broaden on that. Yes.
Yeah, and another thing I need to ask you, because people may say, why should we vote for Therold Prudent? Because you have had your own party, LPM.
Yes.
You have supported the United Workers' Party, and then you went to the SLP, and now you have rejoined the United Workers' Party. Because I need to ask you this question, because some of my supporters sent me a question like this. So they need to hear from you. Why should they vote for you when you have been on both sides, and then you had your own party, and now you're back?
Yes. They have to understand it from the context of what happened to me in 2007. In 2007, after I had a discussion with Richard Frederick, I didn't like the tone of the conversation. So I thought I was doing the right thing by alerting Stephenson King that Richard Frederick is up to no good. And that if you're not careful, this very person will take away or snatch the prime ministership from you. I did not like how Richard Frederick described Sir John when Sir John was sick, the language that he used in calling me, because at the time Sir John had left St. Lucia and had arrived in New York with his wife. And during that period, I was a Comptonite. I was very close to Sir John, because I had just helped him win an entire elections by pouring resources, all of the speeches and all of those things. I worked on that, and making sure that money was being provided to the United Workers' Party, paraphernalias and all of those things we had organized. And so when you're going to use the F word to describe a leader that is sick and is in not a good shape and in a hospital fighting for his life, it made me think differently. So it was on that basis in which I contacted Stephenson King and said to him that in an email, all of the things that Richard said and how he described Sir John, and that he was even saying, which I will not disclose yet, but he was saying things about Sir John that as if it was what he had were illnesses that was not a stroke. You understand? As if, you know, that's not what he had. And I was thinking to myself, how can the minister who is serving in the cabinet of Sir John Compton be so cruel as to not believe? And when in truth and in fact, they were the ones who were responsible for Sir John's stroke, because it was at that cabinet meeting they cursed and disrespected him. Don't forget,
TP, just hold a minute. You're giving us information that we need to digest.
This is right.
You are saying that at a cabinet meeting, our dearly beloved Sir John Compton, who was my grandma's attorney, and friend
Yes.
that he was being cursed at a cabinet
Cursed.
meeting?
This is right, and disrespected at the cabinet meeting. And that was during that very same period in which that Busquet, which is Rufus Busquet, Rufus Busquet decided that he was not going to consult Sir John about switching diplomatic relations from China to Taiwan. Sir John was not opposed to Taiwan, but Sir John, as Prime Minister, felt that I am Prime Minister. You need to discuss those things with me. You don't just go ahead and make up your own thing on behalf of this country without consulting me. And it was a lot of things that happened, and Sir John that night went back home, and he told his wife, and you can quote me on that because she said that to me, when he got to the house, he was lying down on one pillow, and then he then said to her, then he wants a second pillow. And that was the evening in which he suffered the stroke. And so when they took him to New York, he was nobody, not even Stephenson King or Richard Frederick or anybody knew where Sir John was during that period, because the wife did not say to the government where Sir John was.
Hold your thought there, TP.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I remembered clearly in 2006,
Yes.
they felt that they would not have won the election, so they asked
Yes.
Sir John Compton to come back.
Yes.
What I said to myself, Sir John is not very young, and they're asking Sir John to come back to win an election. Therefore, this was not love by these men. They only were concerned about them being elected, because look at the disrespect which they gave to Sir John Compton. And then with all that pressure, and then again, and this is why I tell you, I appreciate how you love your mom, because these men clearly show me they do not care for the elderly. Because if they had really loved Sir John, you would not have put pressure on a senior citizen like that, 80 something or the time, whatever age he was, and then he went home to his wife sick. And now these people are pretending to be the best thing next to sliced bread. Something is wrong.
Exactly. This is right. This
Carry
is
on,
right.
TP.
And so when Janice Compton called me to say to me they were in Lenox Hill Hospital, that's where they were, in Manhattan. Richard Frederick called me around that time, believing that I would tell him where Sir John was. But I was very loyal to Sir John.
Right.
And so I decided that I will not tell you. I did not tell him that I knew where Sir John was. And then that's when he started with all the derogative things about Sir John and so forth. And so I wrote to Stephenson King, and I sent him an email. And in that email, I detailed to him all of the conversation that I had with Richard Frederick, not realizing that Steve had been compromised, because I knew Stephenson King since I was 17 years old. Stephenson King and I was a part of the youth arm. Stephenson King used to come to my mother's house on Sunday to drink soup. I won't mention his girlfriend's name because she's a married woman now. But he had a girlfriend, yes, in Rodney Bay. Yeah. He had a girlfriend in Rodney Bay who used to accompany him to my mom's house. When Stephenson King ran for office, it was like a Wednesday. In those days, we did not have big launchings of candidates. So we launched Stephenson King in Sanssouci. So John asked me to come. At the time, I was a very vibrant young person within the United Workers' Party, and Sir John loved the way I delivered speeches and asked that I deliver a speech for Stephenson King on that night. So you see, it was based on those things that I thought I knew the Stephenson King back then. I never knew in my mind that Stephenson King had already been compromised by Richard Frederick. And so when I wrote Stephenson King outlining to him all of those issues, he took my email and forwarded it to Richard Frederick.
Oh no, he did?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, he did. Stephenson King did that. He took my email and forwarded it to Richard Frederick. Richard Frederick then called me and said things that I will not even mention on your show. They class it disrespect, and said a lot of things that I will not even say on your show.
We're not surprised of his declassive behavior. We saw it with me. It's just declassive.
This is right. And said to me that I don't have a place in the United Workers' Party, never will, as long as he is within the United Workers' Party. At the time, I thought of myself as my mom. I thought of my mom from 1964, founding member of the UWP in 1964, Sir John, the Morris Bishop, the Morris brothers, with the Bousquet brothers and so forth, Mr. Girodi and a whole bunch of good people. And to think I had given almost 40 years of my life to being UWP, to doing everything UWP. And I was very saddened by what was done to me by a sitting prime minister and what was done to me by his colleague, Richard Frederick. And it was on that basis I'd made my decision that I would leave the United Workers' Party and form my own party, the Lucian People's Movement.
Okay, stop there,
Yes.
Therold. You see,
Yes.
this is why when I invited you on my show, and this is what I'm doing with my show, getting people like you to come and clear the air, because I didn't know this is what they did to you, and that is why you went ahead to plan your party. Now, when
I wasn't crazy. Yeah.
Go ahead, sure.
I said I wasn't crazy. I'd love United Workers' Party, still loved it deep in my heart, knowing that I did everything United Workers' Party. I have this scar here on my face. This is from the Progressive Labour Party during that elections in 1982 that took a plywood sign they had and burst it in my face, cutting out the side of my face.
Oh,
and all of those things I suffered for the United Workers' Party during that period, and people just disrespecting and doing a lot of things because I was a very ardent United Workers' Party supporter here in Rosalie. But going back to the issue at hand, when I formed the Lucian People's Movement, I did it reluctantly. I didn't think that I was ready for this kinds of stuff. But I said to myself, I didn't want to be a SLP. I don't want to be anything else. So I will form the the Lucian People's Movement, hoping that it would gain traction and people would see through Richard Frederick and see through Stevenson King and support the Lucian People's
hold on there, hold on there.
Yes.
I believe everything happens for a reason, and I believe right now people are really starting to see through Richard Frederick and Stevenson King. Carry on.
This is right. This is right. And so when I did that, I stayed in the, people have to remember, they talk about stability. I stayed in UWP for 40 years until I was basically pushed out because of the behavior of a sitting prime minister and someone like Richard Frederick, who said to me that I don't belong to the UWP. I'll never be able to have a position or place within the United Workers' Party as long as he is alive. And I won't even mention the other things that he said to me. So from there, I stayed for 10 years with the Lucian People's Movement. I didn't veer anywhere, I didn't go anywhere. I stayed within the within the LPM until the Labour Party asked me to start collaborating with them. It was a difficult thing for me, I have to admit. My family was never for it, neither my mother was not for it, neither was my wife was for it. But you know, my mom loves me a lot. And she said to me, as hard as this is, just try it out. But when I went into the St. Lucia Labour Party, I saw the behavior of the St. Lucia Labour Party. I realized that I grew up UWP. In many ways, I am conservative with a little radical feeling about me in terms of how I do things. And but radical in terms of politics, because I always believe in change. And if I'm going to fight for something, I'm going to go all out to fight for it. I'm not going to be timid about it, you understand? And so after 6 months, I realized that I did not belong there. I went back to my wife and my mom, and I said to them, I don't belong here. And so I will get out, because I don't, these people are not my type. These people are not the kind of people I want to be with. These are persons that anybody should be afraid of, because when they go after the opponents, it's about trying to declass it, to destroy them. And I am thinking, but this is not Therold Prudent. This is not who I am. And after 6 months, I quit. I told them I was done. I made a big video which is online, so giving my reason why I left. And then I was on my own. And my mom said to me one day, we were having supper, and she said to me, hopefully one day you will return back to the party where I put you in. She said that to me. And a little bit of tears came in my eyes when she was saying that.
Of course.
Yes, I teared up a little bit. And I realized then that I needed to come back home. But my problem was, how do I come back home with Stevenson King still part of the same party that for which I left, to form another party.
Now let me just stop you there.
Yes.
And this is what I have been saying throughout my show. Information like what you're saying there should have been put out in the public for people to know, that character of Richard Frederick and the character of Stevenson King. Because people looked at you as, oh, this man is no good. They look at Shas, oh, Shas is no good. They looked at the United Workers' Party like they're no good. And this critical information should have been blasted out throughout so people could know their character.
Yes. Because, I felt like I was on my own during that time. You're a third party. Not too many people want to hear your story. You understand? Not too many people are interested because as far as, St. Lucia is very biased towards a third party. And so I couldn't vent it. And so my mom said to me, she's a Christian. So she said to me, let it go. Just let it go. Move forward and let it go. But going back to the moment when I decided to come back to the United Workers' Party, I had a big issue. I had made up my mind, I'm coming back, but I will never speak to Stevenson King.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I had said that in my mind. I will never speak to Stevenson King. I would have nothing to do with Stevenson King. And so when I came back to the United Workers' Party, I decided to support my cousin Leonard Montut, which I did support him. And
as you say, cousin, not cutting you short, as you say, cousin, TP, you are related to me, cousin-wise. So is Spider, so is Kenson.
Really?
We are related. My mom and Stephanie and all of them know the thing. But just letting you know, we are related.
Yes, so then we are all the same family.
We are the same family. Yes, the Montut. Yes.
Because my mother is Montut. Her father was Ernest Montut, who is first cousin to Jerome Montut. And Spider's grandmother was also my grandfather's sister.
Yes, so my mom was the one that told me you were related to them. Yes.
Of course, my mom's married, so I'm Prudent. You understand?
Yes.
But I'm very much as much Montut as I am Prudent in terms of bloodline. You understand?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So moving forward, it is funny how God makes things work.
Yes.
And so as I became actively, because I'd been talking to Spider a whole year and a half before the election, so as I knew I was on board, I was already on board, I knew I was coming back home, and I knew that's where I belong. And as the election started to come to a head, I am coming to become more active in the UWP, the way I used to be. And guess what? Stevenson King was on his way out of the UWP, as fate would have it. And so my problem, whilst everybody was crying and feeling sad, I was rejoicing with my mom. Given the fact that I had said I would never talk to him again. And so I'm back in the United Workers' Party. I don't have to worry about dealing with Stevenson King.
Okay, now not cutting you short. So now I understood, because I always hear you say that you have been in the party for so long and your mom was one of the founders of the party. So I always wondered, but why did he leave then? He went across to SLP, and then you came back, you formed your own party. I was always wondering. Now you saying that, I know that many St. Lucians have a clearer picture about you, and I feel really comfortable now. I'm like, yes, go. You're going up for this chairmanship, and yes, let's do this. Because I believe, honestly, like you didn't, maybe you saw what we did not see, but this man is really a snake.
Long before the United Workers' Party saw through Stevenson King and Richard Frederick, I had already seen through them as early as 2007, 2008. I had already seen that these were no good people. I knew that.
Now,
I understood that.
TP, let me ask you a question, TP. Did Sir John really said for Stephenson King to be the Prime Minister of St. Lucia? Did Sir John really say that? I am puzzled.
Sir John was never in favor of Stephenson King from the beginning being the Prime Minister. As a matter of fact, Steve, when we were putting together the campaign and the Bye-Bye Kenny slogan, you know, that was my slogan that I put together, gave it to Sir John. He said to me that you are very wicked. I said, what do you mean? He said, because Bye-Bye Kenny, I explained to him what it meant. Kenny was like the green mango on the tree, and if we could put down that green mango, all of the yellow mangoes around him would fall. This was the whole concept of the Bye-Bye Kenny. And Sir John loved it a lot, you understand? But going back to your question, when we were putting together the team that would run with Sir John really did not want most of the guys who contested that elections. He said that Vaughan Lewis chose those people. He said to me and to many people that he needs to select his own persons. And so I said to him, well, yeah, but a lot of the people that are there are committed. And Sir John never really liked Richard Frederick, because remember when after Richard Frederick won that thing, he left New York, he left St. Lucia and called this a Batem Popot and did not want to be a part of that. You understand?
I remember.
But later on, he felt that, okay, let us embrace Richard Frederick, even if he had his own reservations about Richard Frederick. The person that was supposed to run in Stephenson King's place is someone by the name of Sybil Snark.
Oh, yes, I know. That's the lawyer, right? Yes. That's the lawyer, Sybil?
That's the lawyer.
Right.
Yes, we had already thought that she was the one and she had received the blessings and we were going right along. Stephenson King came in at the end of the planning when Sir John, not Sir John, but some UWPs were saying, okay, why don't we go with King? Because he's run he's run that seat, he knows the seat, let's go with it. And so last minute, Stephenson King was picked and put on the team of 17 men and women that contested that particular elections. When Sir John became ill, he realized that it was a matter of time until, you know, he couldn't do that job anymore. It took him a little bit of time to decide that Stephenson King would be that guy.
Whoa.
So as he looked around, yes, as he looked around, he had issues with some of the men that was present during that were present during that period. And the reason why Stephenson King got that nod, it was not because Sir John thought that he was the best choice, but he was the best choice at the time in Sir John's mind. It's not my thinking, it's Sir John's thinking, that he was the best choice at the time because he had been loyal to Sir John. He understood the UWP culture better than any other ministers that was present, and that Sir John wanted someone who could continue the legacy that he left behind. And it was on that basis that Stephenson King became Prime Minister of this country.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. TP, you are giving us so much food to chew on. I am choking, TP. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
You know, what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me, I was hearing that Sir John was also thinking of Spider Montoute as the other option. Did you hear that, or was that in the pipeline?
Yes, he was thinking of Spider. I never understood why it didn't happen. But when Steve came, and Steve was the choice, of course, your UWP, you're not going to buck against what your leader has decided.
Yes.
And so you just continue supporting Stephenson King. And at the time I said to myself, well, he's the guy, so let's just continue and work with him. You know, that was my view moving forward. But I had never known that this man would turn out the way he did immediately after Sir John, because when Sir John's death occurred or was about to happen, I sat in Stephenson King's office and we got the call from Martinique saying to us that Sir John was very ill and that he would not make it. There were not many days left and that they would be sending him back to St. Lucia because the doctors in Martinique could not do much for him anymore. That day I was in Stephenson King's office to prevent Stephenson King from selling the Hellenite Center. Sir John had said to the people of New York that if the United Workers' Party had won that elections, that he would do all in his power to put a chancery within the Hellenite Center and make services like passports and different things more accessible to the people to our citizens in New York. But because of all the halicasse that happened under the Labour Party with the Hellenites and so forth, Stephenson King did not have the appetite for the Hellenites. And so to show you how much he was out of the loop, because when Sir John was coming to New York to visit St. Lucians abroad, he was never part of that entourage. He was never a part of it, you understand? So he never understood until I impressed upon him that this is what Sir John said. I brought him tapes, I brought him records, I brought him a lot of stuff, and this is how the Hellenites was finally saved. And Stephenson King did not sell the Hellenites, which is what he wanted to do. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Now let me ask you another question, TP. Yes. During that time Sir John was ill on his bed, he could have dissolved the House.
He could have.
Yeah, what do you think? I know you're not in his head, he's gone, but what do you think happened that he did not dissolve the House of Parliament?
I think originally he felt he would come back and he could have just dissolved the House. I think Sir John would have gone back. I believe strongly, had he lived, he might have come back and dissolved the House, have an election, just like what Mia Motley did in Barbados, pick the people he thinks he can work with, you understand, and have a new elections. But then I think when he saw the situation in the country and he felt that Steve maybe can pilot the UWP, because Steve had served with him for 2 terms prior to losing to George Odlum, that Steve would remain there. And so as a result, Sir John just let it go, because Sir John knew that very well, that he was on his way out. So there's nothing that he could have done to change the trajectory or change the direction in which things was going in a United Workers' Party government.
Now, the reason why I ask you about the dissolving of the House, because you cannot tell me you have people in a cabinet cursing a man like that, and then when he went home, he fell ill, right?
This is right.
And then so ill that he never recovered. And people of St. Lucia voted for Richard Frederick Stephenson King. Something is wrong. Something is wrong somewhere for people to have re-voted those men into office.
Yes. Well, guess what? They didn't. They brought them in when they came in 2006, 2007. But remember, they lost because of Richard Frederick. United Workers' Party lost the elections of 2011. Yes, 2011. They lost because of the same Richard Frederick that Stephenson King seemed to have more an affinity for, and seems to be pretending as if whatever Richard says, maybe that's what is going to happen. Yes.
And, you know, TP, with you having all that knowledge, some of us didn't know all those nitty-gritty.
Yes.
We heard that there was a famous 7 or whatever during that time. There was?
There was. It was actual. They denied it back then, but there actually were 2 factions between this particular government. And those who think that they were the Super 8, and these were persons who felt that they did not need John Compton, even if John Compton had taken them to victory, and that they were just going to craft. It was in Stephenson King's government. I want you to understand, every man was a prime minister, was a mini prime minister in that government. And so it became not a government where they actually respected Stephenson King, but a government that for Stephenson King to be able to hold on to power, he had to be subservient to some of the persons, some of the ministers within the United Workers' Party. He had to give them favors. He had to really kiss up to them for him to have held on to power. Yes.
So basically what you are saying to me, our country did not move forward 2011, 2000, well, so John died,
2007,
2007, 2011,
yes.
because there were too many
Yes.
bosses.
Yes, this is right. Too many bosses within the United Workers' Party. Too many persons who felt that because they had won an election, nobody can talk to them, you know, and that they were their own bosses and so forth. And in the absence of Sir John, who provided the stability to the United Workers' Party, it was lost after his death because Stephenson King truly was not respected as a leader within the UWP and not respected by his colleagues. And that is a fundamental fact. And when the Labour Party used to exploit it, they were right. I have to admit to you tonight, they were right, because they were getting a lot of leaks from even people within there that used to give them information as to what was happening with the government of Stephenson King.
Yeah, because I remember Dr. Kenny D. Anthony really going after Stephenson King to get Richard Frederick out of his government. But the irony of all things, of everything, right now, Richard Frederick is sitting in the same government with the same problems. What's your take on that? What kind of hypocrisy is this?
This makes me feel like throwing up sometimes when I think of someone whom they call criminal, someone whom Kenny Anthony said to us was the worst thing that ever happened to this country when Richard Frederick came into elective office. Someone whom the Labour Party did not even want to touch with a 6-foot pole. But today, because they are working against the United Workers' Party, and because the Labour Party has never been a party of principle, no matter how much they claim they're a principle party, they're a party of opportunistic elements who will do anything to win an election. If they have to kill you or me, they will kill you and me to win an election. I want you to believe that. And if they have to tarnish your name and to tarnish the names of everybody, they will do that. And these are some of the things I recognize in the 6 months I stayed there. But you know, I'll say something to you. They washed Richard Frederick's sins white as snow. White as snow. You know, like the Bible says, you understand? So when you baptize, you washing the blood of the lamb.
Yes, white as snow.
Washing the blood of the lamb. Richard Frederick is washing the blood of the lamb, and suddenly Richard Frederick was a good man to the St. Lucia Labour Party, and somebody that they said to us that we should not trust. But I'll say something to you, just a broadside, and we can come back to that. I am happy I never voted for the St. Lucia Labour Party. I went in there. I want to let people know, yes, I went in there for the 6 months. But the good thing about it is I never have cast a vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Never have voted for them. Never was a part of them except that 6 month period. So thank God, and I thank God all the time that they cannot claim me as someone who ever voted for them.
Exactly. Now, TP, you know, speaking to you, I am just saying that I have been really preaching to the United Workers' Party to get a proper structure in terms of public relations. Now you going in there, and let's say that you become the new chairman of the United Workers' Party.
Yes.
What do you plan on doing in enforcing the PR structure of the United Workers' Party? Because it is really lacking right now.
Yes. The United Workers' Party, we need to come up to speed with what has happened. Like I've said, in the last 26 years or 25 years, the Labour Party has won 4 elections. The UWP has only won 2 elections, none of which was back-to-back in that 25-year period. And so, whatever we say about the Labour Party, the fact remains they lie, they cheat, they steal, but they have a well-oiled machinery.
You are right about
so
that.
They do. And so the United Workers' Party, we don't have to lie, we don't have to steal, we don't have to cheat. All we have to do is to have very clear policies on where we stand on the various issues here in this country. Don't wait until an election to be able to say that this is where the United Workers' Party stands on this issue and that issue. And to also ensure that when we put our PR there, we are sending persons who can articulate those policies to the people of St. Lucia. And so that no one can ever say that, oh, tout se parti sala, you say mem. We must find a way to differentiate ourselves from the Labour Party, that people will not say, oh, tout se mem. By the kind of policies we stand for, the way we have crafted and defined the kind of policies that needs to be defined, and to be able to articulate those policies. So in this regard, we have our PR team have to be what you call A+. No ifs, no but, it has to be A+, to be able to get those messages to the towns and villages of this country, to the rural parts of this country, to the ghettos of this country, and to every nook and every valley of this country. The United Workers' Party message must sink in the minds of people, and so that by the time election is here, no one have to say, where does the UWP stand on this, and stand on that. St. Lucians are very clear where our party stands and where we stand on those issues, and that we can move on ready to fight the next elections.
I applaud you for saying that, because to me, the most important role or persons or people within an organization is their public relations. And
yes, that's right.
I'm hoping that if you are successful as the chairman, that this is a structure put in place where people are intelligent, knowledgeable, and push the plans and the policies of the
understand the policies themselves,
exactly.
so that they can disseminate this information to the voters of this country.
Exactly, because I find
this is where I talked.
Go ahead, TG. Go ahead.
And that's where I talked about the role of our PROs, the role of our different executive members in the branches. Broaden their role. Don't just have a branch office that only when there are meetings you call them on. Be a part of it. Work with them so that they can become activists in their own community, so that they can start to prepare the ground for United Workers' Party victory. We won't tell them tonight what our plans are. I'm just speaking in general what is going to be. But so as we go about, we work the ground, and there will, by the time election time comes, there is a groundswell of support for the United Workers' Party, because all of the constituency branches are operative and are doing exactly what they need to do in conformity with the vision of the United Workers' Party.
This is excellent. Now another question for you, like for instance, the party, the unity after the election, right? Let's say, okay, you are successful and maybe the other parties did not win. How are you going to bring and gel people together? Because in order for any organization to be strong, there must be unity. So what are your plans, you know, in bringing everybody in, you know, embracing them, you know, because some people will be disappointed, but people have to realize the main goal is not Rene, is not this one, is not that one, but for the country. So what is your plan in bringing everybody in?
My plan to bring them in is very simple. I have never said a bad word about anybody when I go out there on Sundays. I don't speak ill of my party members. I just listen to what the people are saying. I try to encourage them, and this is what I preoccupy myself with. And so, after an election, if I'm successful, there cannot be any bad blood, because I did not go about promoting myself and my vision in a vicious way. I'm going about it in a way that is humble, a way about someone who with a level head, someone who truly understands the politics of St. Lucia and truly understands the politics of the United Workers' Party, and someone who can make a big difference. And so if I am chairman, it's not about just me. It will be about those on the elected executive and among others who may not even be a part of the executive, to help to craft the kind of and in line with our political leader to craft the kind of vision we want for our party. And so everyone will have a role. So it will not just be about Therold Prudent with a big stick kicking that one and beating that one. No, this is never going to happen. But I am going to be strong. I'm not going to be a weak leader. I am going to be the I'm going to be the kind of person who can look up our political leader, and if there is an issue, I can say to him with all honesty, I believe that it is wrong. This is the kind of chairman that I will be. One that is fully supportive of the political leader, one that will be loyal to the political leader, but one that is not afraid of telling him when things are not right. This is the kind of person I will be.
Now,
yes.
TP, let me just, how will I say it? Let me just solidify what you have said there, put a stamp
yes.
on it.
Yes.
Glenn's girlfriend is, that's your cousin, our cousin. Glenn's girlfriend
yes.
and I, we went to school together and we were very tight, and I went across to them
yes.
to collect some
yes.
stuff. And exactly
yes.
what you said there, Glenn said that to me. He said he wanted to know who is So-So. He wanted to meet So-So. His girlfriend said, So-So, you have to come home. He wants to know you.
Yes.
So he came and he was so excited because he always watches me.
Yes.
So Glenn said, So-So, let me
Yes.
tell you something about TP, Therold.
Yes. Yes.
From a child growing up, he wants nothing from anybody.
No.
He is a straightforward person. He will tell
Yes.
you it as it is,
As
and
is,
he would
yes.
be a good person, a good addition to the United Workers' Party. So basically, what you've said there, somebody who grew up with you said exactly the same thing.
Yes, yes, this is my beloved cousin. As a matter
Yes.
of fact, we were born the same day, same year.
Yes, that's
know?
what I know.
Yes,
I realized when Sabina posted it.
Yes.
Yes.
So he knows a lot about me, and he knows that even in my home, I speak to my kids. I love them. I'm loyal to them. I don't want anybody to hurt them, but I'm never afraid of saying to them when I believe that they've done things that are not right. I'm able to speak with them. And guess what? You talk about stability, So-So. I've been married now for 34 years.
Whoa,
To the same woman.
congratulations.
You
And the
understand?
two
The
of
same
you
woman.
look so well together. You're gel.
If they talk about stability and not having stability, this is Mr. Stability. You
Right.
understand?
Bravo to you
I have
as a
a
man.
strong-
Bravo.
Thank you very much. I have a strong family who deeply love me. I have a strong family that supports me. And I have a strong family that knows that if things are not right, I will always come to them. So I take the same application of how I am with my family to take it to the Flabo family, and always being honest and always being loyal. But when things are not right, to be the first one to say it's not right.
And I love you saying that, because, you know, being a family is very important to me, and being a family man, the way I see you interact with Sharon and your kids, it's all love. And this is what we want. We want people who are at the head to be an example, show the love. I saw how you showered Sharon with love. You all went to your private place down in Sofra. I saw you. Your private place, and you all had fun. This is what we want.
I love my wife, and I still love her after all this. Yes,
and the two of you all look so well. And you two remind me of Alan Chasney and his wife. This is what we want. We want to know, okay, these are two people, they love each other, we can look up to them. And I believe you are a great example, TP. And you know, Sharon, I know we women like to, you know, our partners close to us, but Sharon understand, Mrs. Prudent understand that your calling, that you want to go out there and help your party. You know, since 2006, your love has been there despite all the ups and downs. So just tell us how Sharon has really, Mrs. Prudent has really supported you as a man.
She supported me as a man in many ways. I remember when I was in school in Buffalo, Sir John had sent me out there to America to study travel tourism management. They didn't pay or give me a scholarship, but he said to me, we did not have any trained persons in travel tourism. Tourism is a big part of our country, and that was 87. So you need to go out there and study, and when you're ready, come back, you can run for elections. That's how he put it to me. And so when I went out there, I explained to Sharon, because she was my girlfriend then, and we've been girlfriends and boyfriends since we were about 13, 14 years old. You understand?
That's a long time.
A long time, yes, a long time. And I said to her that I'm going back home. And she said to me, you have a choice. I'm going to support you in anything you want. You have a choice. You're not living here until you marry me. She said that to me.
Smart girl, smart girl.
Yes, you're not living here until you marry me. And so we got married, unknown to my mother. My mom never knew we got married because we did it in the civil. Yes, we did it in the civil court.
Okay.
And after that, we had a big wedding afterwards, you know. And when I told my mom about it, I was very scared to tell her because that I got married. And I said to her who I got married to. She said, like you think I didn't know. She said that. Yes, like you think I didn't know. Yes.
Oh,
and she took it in good strides because she's always loved Sharon a lot. You understand? So I'll say to you how she's supported me. In all the years when I was going through school, it was difficult years in Buffalo. And so what she used to do is she started off, she finished school long before I did. She had her Bachelor of Science in accounting. And she would, when things were tough, she would send me some monies to help pay for books or to pay for different things, you know, that I needed. At the time I was working I went up there and nobody recognized my GCs or CXCs or anything like that. They did not recognize it. So I was a nobody in America, except I was going to school. And so when I realized I wasn't getting any job, I took a job to wash dishes in a place called Casa de Pizza. And as I started washing dishes there, Sharon would come to visit me always from New York City. She would fly to come see me. And she supported me throughout that time when I had my, when I was in school. When I left school, I came to join her back in New York City. I had a very bad accident so when I was only 8 years old.
Wow.
If it wasn't for the hand of God, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And so I lay unconscious after a bad vehicular accident in Rodney Bay. And with broken kneecap, broken this, broken that, lots of, lots of things to my head, to everywhere. I was a broken person, broken bones all over. I healed. I don't even understand how I healed, but I was unconscious for about a whole 4 weeks, a whole month. I lay in Victoria Hospital in the children's ward upstairs. That's where it used to be, unconscious. Until my mom prayed and prayed and prayed and said to me, years afterwards, she said to God, if you would spare his life, I would dedicate him to the service of your service and to the service of people. That is one of the things my mom always said, and God spared my life. But when I came back from Buffalo, in St. Lucia, I never even knew that from that accident, I was breathing on one lung. And so that my rib cage had shut in after the surgery. And guess what? I was playing soccer, I was swimming, I was doing all those things, never realizing I was breathing on one lung. And so I felt sick from doing too much. And when I went in, they realized that I had internal injuries. If I had stayed in St. Lucia, that means I would have been a dead man based on the kind of injuries that I had. And so they had to perform a 9-hour surgery at a place called Booth Memorial Hospital in Queens, New York. And that is where they repaired the left lung. They had to actually blow into it after all those years, and then for it to expand. Sharon was with me throughout all this ordeal, all of this difficult times. And when I started to work, and she continued working, she's always said to me, I am supporting you. In anything you want to do, I am supporting you. And so when I decided to go into politics, she gave me 100% support. That was when we were doing all the stuff for Sir John. Sharon is the person that is not heard of. She does not try to look for attention. She's not out there trying to wave her magic wand to make people respect her. But tonight, I know some people have heard about it, but my wife Sharon is a partner in one of the largest accounting firms in New York.
Congrats,
And not
Sharon.
only is she, thank you, and not only is she a partner in one of the largest accounting firms in New York, she is also the very first woman of color in the entire history of that company
Well done,
to
Sharon.
become a partner in New York. Yes,
Well done,
that's right.
well done, well
And so
done.
I must say that she supported me in a lot of ways,
Please.
and in ways that I can never pay back. And she knows that I lavish a lot of praise on her. When I have money, I'm giving her everything I have. You understand?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yes, because I could be nothing today had it not been for the kind of support that she gave to me in my years of struggles.
That's what
Yes.
you call real love. And Sharon, we
This
thank you
is
for
correct,
that. Because had you not done that, we would not have had TP with us. You know, thank
Yes.
you. Because sometimes we see our men out there doing great things and the women are at the back silently supporting them. And
Yes, that's right.
especially with the role you're going to take. I know you told me Sharon is going to be coming down soon, you know, but
Yes, she will. Yes, she will.
yeah, and she will be there to support you. And I really believe she's going to be a good addition to what you want to do, because, you know, the
Yes.
wives usually are brutally honest and tell you the truth, you know, what you should.
She always says things that you don't think she's saying to me behind closed doors. She is. She's very open with me, and she will
Yes.
say to me when she doesn't like something, when she thinks it's not a good idea, she will always tell me it's not a good idea. But it doesn't mean because someone disagrees with you, that means they love you less.
They don't love you
That's
less.
right.
So your kids, how is your kids taking all this political attention
They-
going towards their daddy?
They're very excited because when the United Workers' Party and our political leader, Alan Chasney, gave me the opportunity to represent the United Workers' Party on the electoral boundaries, on the Boundaries Commission.
Commission, yes.
Yeah, the commission, which I'm a part of. My son and daughter was the first one to call me Mr. Commissioner. I was like,
Trust them.
I said to yes, Mr. Commissioner, because, you know, as you were part of the commission, so you were commissioner. They came up with that, and I'm like, what do you guys mean by that? I'm not daddy anymore. They said, no, we're going to call you Mr. Commissioner. And so as I go through the process of hoping to become the chairman of the party, I can say to you that they are very proud. Whether or not I succeed or do not succeed, they will always stand by me. And they cannot wait for that moment, because if I succeed, you do not only get Therold Prudent, you get Sharon Prudent, you get Kate Prudent, you get Nashota Prudent, and you get Frances Prudent. You get the whole package, which is my mom. Yes.
Wow, and I know you love your mom. That is so
Yes.
awesome that when your family stands with you. Now let me ask you, how do you think, I know you're very close to the political leader, Honorable Alan
Yeah, I like him.
Chasney.
I like him very much. Yes, I do.
And
Yes.
I personally, this is my personal opinion, because you know people, you know, they take things and they twist it. But I personally believe, and based on what Glenn said to me last week, I personally believe you
Yes.
are the right person to stand with him, because you
Thank you.
need somebody to say to Alan Chasney, I will always support you, but this thing
And
you're
be
doing,
loyal, yes.
and be loyal, but
Yeah.
this thing you're doing, we can tweak it. We shouldn't do it this way and that
Yes,
way,
yes,
instead of going and
yes.
speak behind his back. So how do you
Never.
feel about
Yes.
Honorable Alan Chasney? Just let us know, you know, how,
I
your
love
connection
him
with
as
him.
I love him as a political leader. I love him as a man. I think he's honest. I think he speaks his mind, and I like the fact that he has humility, which is something I have, and my whole entire family have. And despite of all the things that we have accomplished, including Alan Chasney, we have never believed that we are all of that. We know how to humble ourselves. And I believe that Alan Chasney is the kind of man who can humble himself. And he has proven it time and time again. And so I am saying that I always believe that there is redemption in politics. And just because you lose an election doesn't mean as political leader or that it's the end for you. Sir John lost in 1979 and won only 5 seats to 12 of the St. Lucia Labour Party. However, he never gave up. The United Workers' Party came back with people like my mom, Ignatius Felicien, and all of those good people, and restructured the UWP, went through a post-mortem, understanding what had happened, what had transpired, why we had lost that particular elections. And guess what? Within 2.5 years, John Compton was back again as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, not just for a 5-year period, but for the next 15 years. I believe Alan Chasney can be that John Compton. I believe that Alan Chasney can be that kind of man that can return and to prove to the rest of St. Lucia that whatever he did wrong, because we all are humans, he can correct this, just like Sir John could correct things and adapt to a new way of doing things. And I have no doubt in my mind that he deeply loves St. Lucia and the citizens of this country.
And I believe that too. I believe that so much. So let me ask you.
Yes.
If you are not successful,
yes,
how would you feel?
If I'm not successful, like anybody else, you would be disappointed. But I am not one to cower to defeat. As a matter of fact, the more you defeat me, the more I feel like getting up again and fight.
That's right.
So that means if I do not win this time, you can guarantee that at the next convention, I will offer myself again.
So what is
This is the kind of,
okay,
yes.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, TP,
Yes.
sorry.
And this is the kind of person I've always been. And I will always share advice. I will always be a part of the United Workers' Party. This is who I've always been. And I'm saying to you, I'm here to stay. I'm here for the rest of my life. This is where I intend to stay. This is what it was designed to be. And that's why God brought me back at this juncture. I didn't join the United Workers' Party when I joined when they were in government, but I didn't become active when they were in government. My activism began towards the end of their tenure in government. And I'm saying to you, any man or woman that can stay in a party in opposition is deserving of some praise, because it takes a lot to remain with a party in opposition.
Yes.
And I'm that guy.
Yes.
And you are too.
It takes a lot. It takes.
Yes.
Yes. And when is the convention? When is it going to be held? So we'll know when.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be this summer.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
This summer.
Yes. They mentioned June, August. I'm not quite sure. Of course, you know, I'm looking on the outside, not the inside. In terms
because
of,
you're not, on the executive.
Yes, I'm not in a part of the executive. I respect those people. So whenever the decision is made to for the convention, I'll be ready, and I will not back away, and I will not shy away from it. No, I will not. No.
Yes.
No,
so explain to me, because many of us who are not a member of the United Workers' Party, explain to us how it works. Like, for instance, how does the voting start? Like, for instance, you have 17 various constituency. What is the process? Because many people just hear in delegates.
The process is you'll be nominated early before the convention, a couple, maybe a weeks or whatever before the convention. Okay. Someone nominate one constituency nominates you, and another maybe second the motion. And then you move into the convention, which is where the actual voting will happen by secret ballots. And the persons who do that is 20 selected delegates from every single constituency. They come together, and that is when the decision is made for political leader, for deputy political leader, for chairman, for deputy political chairman, for deputy chairman, and for all of the other offices that people will be vying for. That's how it's going to happen.
Okay, so you have 20 delegates from each of the various constituencies.
Various constituencies, yes. This is right.
So
yes.
this is why you have been going there, talking to the people, because
This is right.
They too, the delegates, would have to know how the people feel about you, if they would want
Yes,
you as their
yes,
chairman and
yes,
stuff like this.
yes.
So this is why you have been going through the various places and, you know,
Various
trying to get to
places.
know
I'm
the
talking
people.
to delegates, I'm talking to chairs, but I'm not only talking to just the chairs and the delegates. I make sure when I'm done with my meetings with them, I always go out to meet the faithful, which is the base of our party. Without that base of the party, the United Workers' Party is nothing. Without those Malaways and those poor persons and everybody out there who is not Malaway but supporting the UWP, we would be nothing. And so we always have to show gratitude to them, because on election day, they are the ones who go out there to rubber stamp or to put a vote next to the United Workers' Party, making the United Workers' Party the government of this country, or maybe the opposition if we lose. And so I've always felt that they must always have a room, a room or a chair at the table. We must be able, if one day I am part of the executive and the chairman of the United Workers' Party, that my ear is always open to what the base is thinking and what they're saying, because they are the ones that will determine how far we go as a political organization.
I totally agree. And looking at you, your personality, your demeanor, I think you would be an excellent chairman, and you have my support. I am not a delegate.
Thank you so much.
I'm not
Thank
a
you.
member
Yes, I
of the
understand
party.
that.
I'm just
But
looking
you're
on
free to, yeah, you're free to, absolutely.
Yes,
You're free
to
you're free
express
say your
myself.
choice.
Yes,
Exactly. Yes.
But I believe you are going to be very, very instrumental in the party, and I believe that Honorable Alan Chasney, you would be an asset to him, because you are very knowledgeable in terms of our political climate. You'd be able to guide him, and because Honorable Alan Chasney needs some honest people around him.
Yeah.
You know, we need to learn, and this is what I said at the beginning of my show: love me for who I am. Don't love me to
Yes.
suit your narrative. So I know you
Yes.
love Alan Chasney, but you'll also be
Yes, I do.
honest with him to tell him,
Yes.
you know, certain things, how he should or should not do it. Now, in
This is
closing, just say,
Yes.
you know, some final words
Yes.
to my people. It was
Yes.
such a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here, So. And maybe next time when I come, we can talk about my book, Glory Days and Tragedies, some of the books
Okay.
I've written.
Okay,
We can
cool.
talk about that, yes. And we can talk a little bit about maybe next time I come, hopefully I am the chairman by then.
Oh,
and
yes,
I
that'll be
can-
great. I need to interview. I need that first interview.
I could be invited back to your show.
Yes.
But I want to say to the people of the United Workers' Party to be courageous, to be patient, because change is coming to the United Workers' Party. Change for good. Change that is invigorating. Change that has policies. Change that believe that everyone has a say within the United Workers' Party, and that we are a big tent, and that we, even if we may disagree on certain things, the fact remains that we have one united front, which is to defeat the St. Lucia Labour Party, and this is what our goal is. And so we must never forget what our goal is to make the Labour Party a one-term, again I will say, a one-term government. And this should be the vision, the focus of anybody that called himself UWP. You're not UWP if you are going to create impediments in the way of our party by doing things that are not in the interest of the party.
Exactly.
And our determination to be able to defeat the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Exactly.
Your person in the party that you disagree with is not your enemy.
Exactly.
You may disagree with your brothers and sisters within the United Workers' Party, but they are not your enemies. You may have differences of opinion, but they're not your enemy. The person that the party that is your enemy is the St. Lucia Labour Party, and is the party we need to get out of here as soon as possible. And we all must unite as supporters and members of the United Workers' Party to make this happen.
And I totally agree with you. I so enjoyed your company. I felt like we were side by side discussing. You're so interesting, TP. You're very interesting. And I was not bored. I could have more of you and just talk. But I'm going to invite you back again.
Yes,
so, you know, thank you from the Lies and Deceit family. We want to say thank you for coming on the show. And we will talk again. Thank you so much. Now, my people, I want to thank you for all the coffees, all the love which you have given to me. I said that we would have been doing both Facebook and YouTube. We'll do it on Monday because we had something to just sort out with YouTube, and it should be fine by tomorrow. So from now on, when we do our shows, it'll be on both YouTube and Facebook. Also, I want to say thank you to Mario. Mario bought coffees for all of you Adventists. And Mario said, unity will be our only strength to defeat the great evil. Thank you, Mario. And Miss Clara, you know I love you. She said this one is for Clara Sami. She said she can't get through, so don't say the Advent is not supporting. Love you, Miss Clara. You know I love you, Dudu. And all the others who bought me coffees, I love you all. Now, my people, we will be back on Monday. I'll be back to talk to you, and then you know I have to talk to my friend D Guy. All of y'all want D Guy to come on, so when he tells me when, but it should be next week, he said anytime you want me, so I'm coming on. So you know the show go be lit with Guy, right? So I just want to say good night. I love y'all, and I'm so happy TP came on tonight. Go to church tomorrow, say your prayers. I'll pray for you and pray for me. Love y'all.